My coaches had a huge impact on my life, but the experience of being with coaches who really, really care was something that really, really impacted me. And I knew at a relatively young age in college that I wanted to be a college football coach.
I went to apply for some teaching jobs, and I chose schools with new swimming pools because I wanted to be a swim coach. And in the interview, the superintendent said, well, can you coach basketball? And can you win? My daughter plays, and we want to win. And I'm like, of course I can. And I don't know where that came from. To this day, I don't know why I said that. But that's the reason I got the job. So it's an unusual career path. I fell in love with basketball, and then here I am.
Being a part of college athletics is something special. Yeah, I think as we get older, our life gets pretty habitual, and watching these young people come in with all of the possibility that they have in their lives, all of the energy that they have, it makes it a kind of a transformational time, and I just, wanted to be a part of that.
I had always enjoyed teaching swim lessons and ski lessons, and I thought, this is something I can do with rowing. I'm incredibly passionate about the sport of rowing, and so it was something that I could share with the people coming up that were just starting to get into the sport and were wanting to take their rowing to the next level, and I wanted to share that with them and use my experiences so that they could also have the great experiences that I had.
So I really thought I would move to the teaching pathway, and coaching was just an obvious connection for me because of my passion for the game. And so I knew even when I was in college I wanted to get into coaching and look for opportunities even while I was an undergraduate to get experience in the coaching realm so I could move into that professional arena when I graduated.
So I knew early on that coaching was something I wanted to do. I realized I wanted to do something in sports, and I wasn't good enough to be a professional athlete. So for me, coaching just kind of made sense, and I just started coaching as many teams as possible. And then in 2010, I was hired as the water polo coach here at Harvard.
And I was always referred to as the coach on the floor, and I was kind of the messenger. I felt I was a liaison between the coach and the staff to the players. And so I think being thought of that way and also playing that position leads you to believe or leads you to think about probably coaching. But I always thought of, this is something personal to me, is teaching. My mother's a long-time school teacher. And so I think of before you can coach, you got to be able to communicate and teach. I've learned that throughout my household, and my aunts and a lot of people in my family were teachers.
And I come from a family of coaches. So my dad was a football, baseball, athletic director. My brothers were coaches, my sister was a coach, and so it's kind of our family business. And coaching gives me the opportunity to stay competitive. And as soon as that puck drops, my blood starts to boil and I'm fired up. So I guess it was meant to be.